Look, my idea was this with the Last of Us show. They should go full like Eddie Murphy, Nutty Professor, and just let Elliot play the role of Ellie and Joel at this point, and just use because like why
Just
not?
put some prosthetics on her face.
Yeah.
Give a nice little.
Go ahead and let Elliot play Abby too.
You know
Fuck it. Let's change the game here. But
that's actually a really good point.
yeah, fuck it. Let's do it.
And after that $50 super chat, we might as well just hop right into it, guys, and talk about this casting. There it is. There's your Ellie.
Wow. That looks
Okay.
way different than I was thinking it was going to be.
Yeah.
Woo.
Now let's keep in mind this actress is, how old is this actress?
Isn't this is the girl from Game of Thrones, correct?
Yeah.
I don't like this casting at all. I'll just say that. It doesn't resemble Ellie in my opinion. And it just, again, that is a fan-made poster that we were looking at, correct?
The poster looks probably better than the actual show.
Yeah.
Some of the comments in the chat.
Yeah, it's just
guys, I wasn't.
It just doesn't look like a mat. Like it's not close enough for it to be off, and you still accept it. Like we've all seen adaptations where the characters kind of look like them, but not perfect, but they're like 80% there. This is like 15%.
Yeah, this
for me, honestly, the bigger problem isn't so much the physical resemblance as I don't know that either of those actors are like right for the role. Like, I mean, granted, Pedro Pascal is a pretty good actor. Like he is a good actor.
Pedro Pascal could, like they can stretch it and make it work for him, I think. But
I'll say, as far as Pedro goes, at the end of the day, like I didn't like Wonder Woman 1984. I thought he was the best part of it, and I actually think he's not clearly not my first choice, even my second or third choice for Joel, but Pedro can actually pull this role off, I think, very well.
I'd have him in my top 5 if I was like just off the top of my head. I was thinking more like Josh Brolin, but he might be a little too old now.
Expensive.
Yeah.
And he is going to be like, that's like a,
would Josh Brolin
like a $15 million chip.
Would Josh Brolin pull more than Pedro at this point?
Oh yeah,
absolutely.
Oh yeah, dude.
Really?
No Country for Old Men.
Yeah.
Come on.
He's been in
that said it.
No, dude, I'm a huge Brolin fan. I'm just saying, I feel like Pedro is kind of like Pedro's Hollywood's
the now
favorite guy.
He's the guy.
Pedro's getting a lot of work, but his work is like The Mandalorian and Wonder Woman 1984.
Yes.
Like his probably most critically acclaimed role was Narcos.
Narcos.
Yeah, I mean critically acclaimed, but they're also still like TV or like comic book movie villain, and like Thanos isn't the same thing as the villain in Wonder Woman 1984. Like
I mean,
Marvel picked their
Josh Brolin as Thanos is like. That's Thanos, right? Because Josh Brolin really made it Thanos. That's his acting.
Yeah. I just think
Pedro. I mean, only because in Hollywood right now, everything is going to streaming service. Like this, you can see the transition and the evolution of the industry right now. So him being on The Mandalorian isn't a chip against him. It's really not, because that's really like who's making the most bank right now in the movie industry.
No, and like I mean, again,
that's what should have been right there. My boy from Down Under.
Now that would be my number one. That would be my number one.
Way more expensive too. Like I mean, I just think like ultimately, like let's say, like for sake of argument, the pandemic isn't a thing anymore, and like movie theaters are open. I don't think people are going to see a movie just because Pedro Pascal is in it. I don't even think people are necessarily going to see a movie just because Josh Brolin's in it. But I think Josh Brolin is a bigger like marquee name. And Hugh Jackman is absolutely like people will go see a Hugh Jackman movie just because he's in it. So I think he'd be way more expensive. Granted,
I don't think Last of Us. I don't think Last of Us is a movie. Like it can't be a movie. I don't think
no. It's a show.
I'm just saying, like on the scale of it, before they announce it as a show. If you ask me whether it should be a show or a movie, I would say it should be a show. Like I never saw this as a thing that could be like a feature film.
I always said that I think if they did try, because they were talking about adapting it into a show for a while, and this was before Last of Us 2, and back when I would have considered myself a pretty big Last of Us fan, is I think the biggest mistake they're making is just telling the story of Joel and Ellie. Like they should just take that universe and tell some new stories, I think. Like
especially considering what we all know happened. That's the biggest thing. Mm-hmm. Like the one of the reasons like that I don't know how many people would be interested in like playing Joel of those guys. Like because they have destroyed what he was. Like they turned him into this very gruff, very masculine dude who very reluctantly kind of like it's kind of like fucking what we saw in Logan, honestly. Which is why that comparison sounds so good, right? Somebody who very reluctantly is kind of becoming this father figure and like taking responsibility for this person, to a dude who just got absolutely embarrassed, made to look like a fucking idiot because that's what Neil Druckmann wanted to do to that male character in his show, and that's what he wanted to give to Abby. And I don't know how many people are interested in playing a character that ends that way as the basically the wrong end of the 7-iron.
Do you think they might write? Do you think they could possibly write that out because of wanting to keep that star power in the show?
They might write it out,
dude. It's Neil Druckmann.
Yeah, he's not going to have no creative control over that.
Yes. Yeah, he's got full
does he?
Yeah,
he has
him and Craig
creative control.
I really don't think it's full, guys. Like I don't think Neil Druckmann's that powerful.
Dude, Hollywood, they're not giving a game producer. They're not going to give a game producer fucking control over maybe $150 million TV show. I doubt HBO will do that.
He's gonna have inputs, but Craig Mazin and Neil Druckmann are together making this show for HBO.
Neil Druckmann did get a promotion at Naughty Dog after the last.
They own those characters, yeah.
So I think HBO is going to be pulling more strings than Neil.
Yeah, HBO is going to, because HBO is going to want it to be what, probably like 2 or 3, at least 3 seasons. They're like, where's the star power once he's gone? It'll just be The Walking Dead.
It's just going to be in between shit. Like it's not going to be like.
Okay.
I think what they're going to do
it's probably going to end before they get to that point.
Correct. They're just going to tell the story of like Ellie and Joel after we see that last scene in Last of Us. That's what I think. That's what makes sense to me. They got 5 years of time they can just fuck around.
I'll be honest. I'm not interested.
Oh, me neither, because they destroyed the universe. That's
not interested. And you know, we talk about these actors, like just to kind of go back to what you were talking about, Ryan. I don't think Josh Brolin or what's his name? Wolverine.
Hugh Jackman.
I don't think they would take the role anyway. I don't think like Hugh Jackman's already done that. He's already done that. He wouldn't take it.
He was way beyond this.
Yeah, this motherfucker's so up there. He said, "I'm going back to fucking the stage. I'm gonna go back and do some damn opera shit or."
They used to do ballet.
When is this show scheduled to release?
No one has any idea. It's a while. They've already had
the end of next year, probably.
They've already had a big change. Like a director left the project, and they brought another one on. I honestly think, listen, there is just, if this would have been done before Last of Us 2, this would be a way bigger deal. But the bottom line is, you had Last of Us, which sold 20 million copies across 2 consoles, and then you have The Last of Us Part 2, which. We still haven't got any other updates other than that 4 million, have we? Still waiting to hear. You know, like Ghost of Tsushima, they announced when they hit 5 million, make a big deal about it, but nothing for The Last of Us 2, shockingly. It's very strange, isn't it?
Yep.
Because
that's
they're
a
embarrassed.
Show I'd like to see Ghost of Tsushima. That would be a dope show.